Alright, before I try my hand at another non-Lego thing, let's do some Lego things. It's going to be another polybag because I've got a bunch of these. And I'm not quite prepared yet to do the larger Lego sets that I have. So this is one that I got recently. It's a city, another city one, but perhaps slightly more exciting than this car thing, which isn't too bad. Like, it's not, like, I think I was a bit hard on everybody when doing the last one. I've actually got a whole pile of these little Play Studio egg things that I still haven't done from the old series. Not that anyone would ever actually care about that. But this one I think everybody will care about. Does it not have any instructions? Oh, it does have instructions. They're hidden behind here. Hidden away. I've noticed there is a frog, which is quite weird. I can't really think of actually many sets that I've ever got that have frogs in them that aren't that frog game, which I got several copies of now, primarily because I like to collect frogs. But actually tonight I was on the newly renamed DAL-E Mini AI image generator. I was doing but several queries. It's not called that anymore, it's changed its name. But I was trying things that were all frog related, so that's quite fitting. There was I tried a frog flying a plane, a frog and a cat playing tennis, I think were the ones I was trying. Basically there were just frogs doing different things, which I think is quite a good thing. Like, some of them actually worked out pretty good, I have to say. No, they didn't work out pretty good, but they worked out like, it's not a very good AI thing compared to the other ones, the state-of-the-art ones, but it's a smaller version. But if you haven't tried it, it gives sometimes they come up what I would call not particularly convincing, but inspirational. Like, you feel like you could take them into your an art program, or you could get out your drawing tools and you could use that as a base for your actual image. Look at this, you've got this strange new piece here, which I'll bring up. I have never had one of these before. So I've had this kind, I'm pretty sure I've had these big curves, but this is a small curve, which is quite neat. So that's nice to see a new piece, especially in such a small set, which costs $1 more than Kermit the Frog does. So there's my spare Kermit the Frog. But I suspect they must be going up in price at some point. With all the talk of inflation that we hear of on a day-to-day basis, which hasn't really affected me too much, unless you count the price of petrol, but I don't buy petrol that much, so that's a good thing. There we go. I do have to buy some petrol at some point if I do get around to fixing my lawnmower, which wasn't really going to be too hard, except I have to find the little bolt that I got, which is probably on this desk here somewhere, which is going to be quite hard to find. Anyway, that's not the issue of today. We have to find this. It's a blue flame, which is going to go in the middle, and I don't know what... Oh, it's a drinking fountain. That's what this is supposed to be. There may be burning leaves in their drinking fountain. Is that actually a drinking fountain? Is that what it's meant to be? I don't know what you have in your country, but in my country, once upon a time, primary schools used to have, like the younger people's schools, had drinking fountains where they had a metal bowl which was about this big, which isn't going to help because you have no idea how big my hands is. But not the little tiny little ones where the water just comes out, but they were reasonably sized bowls. And if you were lucky enough, you had one that was just the right size to focus the sunlight, and in just the right position to focus the sunlight to a particular position. And then you could burn leaves with it, which was hilariously funny when I was a kid. And so that's why I just made that comment. I have tried with more modern ones, but they don't seem to really catch on. So we've got to have 2 purple flowers and 1 yellow flower. They do like having their mixed up flowers, don't they? Like, how often I bought some azalea. I bought an azalea tree bush thing at a reduced to clear at the local shop. The same place I actually bought this guy from, and well, I haven't planted it yet because I haven't got around to it, but hopefully it will work. It says that I have to water it a lot in winter and summer. It's like a tree I have to pay attention to. I don't know if it is a tree. It's like I thought they were azaleas were bushes, but it says up to 2 meters, and that's like a pretty big bush in height. So anyway, they've got the. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I think I've missed out the first part of this. So we have to build. We haven't built the people yet. So this is actually the first page. I've kind of jumped ahead. Let us start with this part and the head, which I'm going to guess is this one. He's only got one face, so they can go there, and they also have blonde hair if you wish to do that kind of stuff. And she has a giant apple which is the same size as her backpack, and for some reason I have 2 backpacks because he also has a backpack. Gosh. I bought a new backpack today. It's not a brand new one. It's a one from an op shop, but it's a good quality one from many years ago. It must be at least 20 years old, but very lightly used. The same brand of the one that I bought many years ago. It's a very similar model as well, and I paid an awful lot of money in comparison to what I paid for this one. So I've been buying quite a few of them over the years, but sometimes they get damaged, and then you're like, well, I could send them to the manufacturer, and they're pretty good about you repairing them, but that would probably cost a little bit more than me actually just buying another one from the opportunity shop. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and I should be able to repair them myself, I think. Should just get around to doing it. But anyway, that was my day, and I had to tell everybody this. They had to know. It had to be said. So this is a merry-go-round style thing. Is this really called that? I don't actually know what these little tiny kid playground ones are called. The ones where you have to hold on and spin around, and I didn't really like them much. But I think as a child anyhow, but as an adult I'm sure I'd find them terribly amusing. So the frog, we didn't actually put the frog on, but the frog is sitting for some oddly strange reason. Why is there a frog at the skateboard park? I don't know what kind of situation that would be. But the one thing the thing is, it's a bit disappointing, is that this doesn't actually fit. Like the skateboard, the wheels are too wide, and it's not actually, it's overhanging the side. So that kind of, like if you push it up against there, the wheels stick out on the side, so it's just going to fall off, which is a real shame, to be honest. Like, this would be quite fun. It would have to be 3 studs wide though to really work, so you'd have to get I mean, that's kind of clever, right? Because you kind of feel like, well, you should get another one of these and put them both next to each other, and then you'd have everything sorted. But I didn't actually mention the fact that these pieces here, I don't think I've ever had one of these. It's not like a semicircle. It's a strange sized piece. So that's neat, and you get some cool little spares. Some cool spares indeed, including enough to almost make another flower, which we will do. I will make a semi-flower, and we can put that following the exact same. That's a dark green. I think there's 2 different colours. No, there's not. We can put that on there, and so that can spin around. And we have the spare here, and we have that thing. So that was a pretty good set. That was quite fine. I enjoyed that. I think that was well worth it for the price. It's fine. So if you ever get the chance to buy this, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd definitely snap it up. I find it more exciting than this one. This one doesn't have the exciting pieces, but I do still like this one. I like the fact that it's very sharply cornered. But this has some interesting pieces in it. Like, you don't really, like, I haven't seen. So I'm wondering, is this piece here and is this piece here going to start appearing in more sets? And it's also good for a frog. Like, Like I have to look up how many sets do frogs appear in. Like I've definitely had sets with frogs. I feel like there was that Oriental Expedition one. Is that what that was called? For some reason, I feel like one of those sets had a frog in it. Like no, probably probably one of the like one of those sets at that time, or maybe the ones with the explorer people and the guy with the magnifying glass, and when there was dinosaurs and stuff as well, but it wasn't Jurassic Park. Maybe they had a frog. It's like some stuff something has had to have a frog at some point. Of course, we've got Kermit. So also, there's a lot of frogs going on. That's probably why I was obsessed with the frogs, with the AI. None of the frogs that I asked for, the images came back looking like these frogs, but they were very cartoonish, and I don't know if they've just changed the algorithm, or if it's just that my queries are so ridiculous they couldn't possibly be anything but a cartoon. So, like a frog flying an aeroplane, or a frog playing a trumpet, is while riding a bicycle. I guess, that's going to be a cartoon. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.